Okay. Calm down. This is going to be the last film of the shelves, the fixings really, and a catch up on things that I didn't show yesterday. I will find those pictures for you. But so now it's securing it all, making it finish the shelves off. So anyway, what I didn't show you yesterday was how we did it. So we've got the torch. Do you see? I bolted these across, look, and then put that. I do like that angle iron stuff. I got, so help support it. So it sits across, and I was telling you about yesterday about doing the middle because of the weight, stop the sagging. We follow them all the way down to the bottom there. Look, I've had to use a torch because everything's down, full. So always consider what you're putting on them, and put protection in it. So the weight of the middle, all this jar, they're on the edges, so we've got plenty of grip on the edge. They're not going to drop off the edge, are they? And even here, look, I think we must have done this because the wall, it's a brick wall, and then this is the bit of brick that sticks out. That's the middle of every brick wall. So we had to get around that, didn't we? So it's quite lucky. Deep that side, narrow this side. So we made the little ones for here. You use what you've got, don't you? And you see these now, look, these are bolted through. These were a bit, look, put a bolt through them. These were the blocks and the bolts. So that's what's holding those corners up. Again, supported in through the middle, screwed in place, which we're going to do to the other one, because you really don't know what weight. I knew there was a lot of weight going to come on these shelves. And you see, bolted, and then did another one, supported. This one, it's not such a stretch, is it? And quite a big bit of wood. The only thing I was going to show you about this was, have you noticed, I make the shelves fit what I want. So don't make standard. What's the point of making a foot gap between all the shelves when what you're putting on it isn't a foot? So obviously at the top we've got plenty of room at the top for the big jars. Hold on, let's get a big jar. So the big jars go above, but you see they don't fit in there. That you get a slightly lesser jar, don't you? You get a slightly smaller size, which then fits in there, like the medium jar then. And then this is a medium, mainly because it's at eye level, easy to see. Make the shelves for what you want to put them on, put on there at that time. Again, this is a medium shelf. You can't put a big jar in a medium shelf, look. But obviously you need room for the bigger jars. So now as we go down the bottom, we can now put the bigger jars in. So we got a bigger space here and a bigger space. And I always think of the bottom. Always think of a gallon can. I always make the bottom ones big enough to put a gallon can under. So start with a gallon can size and then work your way up. And then as you come to eye level, as you come closer to your eyes, shorter, because of the nature of what I collect, because I collect anything and everything. Let me show you something. Well, because I pick up everything, because I've got such a mixture. Some things I've got a lot of, which then they go in a big jar. And then the X2, like I've got a lot of them, so they go into 4 jars. Whatever I've got a lot of, go in a bigger jar. But because I pick up anything and everything, any sort of nut, any sort, whether it be a wheel nut looking type thing or these funny things, look. I mean, when would you ever want to use one of them? You don't know. It's just, this is what I do, this is what I enjoy. That's why I've got such a varied collection of fixings, because I'll pick any, you know, a large amount or a small amount. It makes no difference to me. I mean, obviously these must have been on some car boot table or in something. I separate them up, don't I? I get them in big bags full, and then I sort them all out into individual ones, and some things you've got lots of, some things you've got less of. I mean, here now, look, studs. What are they? Where they came from? I don't know. When are we going to use them? That's an even bigger question. However, I look at them, I think, right, I've got enough to fill that jar. So I know I've got lots of varied amounts of stuff. You know, it was slightly different here when I did these, because I had to keep the gap for the depth. I knew I was going in deep, so I couldn't afford to go narrow, because like I say, we disappear into the dark. I even keep stuff up there. Whenever I can get it, I store it. So, getting back to the shelves, look, screw that in place, because this was excess. You know, these were cut to that length, and then what do you do with the bits that left? You use it, and that's what we're going to do today. And we had a bit of a corner here, so we made another load of little shelves here. So let's and this, you see, this is a scaffolding board, and these ones, again, I do like that. This I don't know what it's called. Is it Dexion? I do like that. I always pick it up, cut it into lengths. I've bolted that across there, and I've bolted the shelves up through the top. So do you see, I built the shelf edges going upwards. I knew here, the height of this was determined by the height of this and when this opened. So I had to have this to open this high up, didn't I? So that's where the first one started. And I knew I was only using little boxes, so I just went up a little bit at a time, and made the shelves for that. And these ones are bolted, like I say, sideways plus upwards. So when you make this, it gets a bit wobbly. You know, it's not braced. It should be braced, but the other way of, if you don't want to brace it, get this board, look, and put a backboard on it. And when you build it with a backboard, that all of a sudden makes the whole back of it stand up straight. It's not going to move, is it? Again, got the legs, bolted the legs together, made that shape. So same as here now, look. Now, if you remember, we had to alter this, didn't we? Because I realised I was wasting too much space. So we had to undo it all and bring everything up. But again, this is slightly different, because this is a set of, I did this, again, knowing what was going on there. This is just tech screwed. Can you see, look, tech screws. So tech screw into there, tech screw into there, and then underneath. So you build it going upwards, but then on the way down, when you put the final fix in it, you fix it, because otherwise, how are you going to drive that in there? You're not going to, are you? You're going to have to build it going up, or construct it going up. And then when you do your final fixes, which we're going to do today, we're going to be fixing downwards from the underneath. So we do this, then we put this shelf in, and then we come down, and and again, trim, we're going to hide the edge. We're going to make it look as if we know what we're doing by putting a bit of trim in there. So I build the shelves to what I want them to do. Hold on, I've got to get up. Oh, gotta get up. Oh. Right, we're up. And again, when you put your legs in, use the roof to your advantage. I clamped the top of this, but otherwise it would be moving around, wouldn't it? So again, we put an edge piece, a board, and we started with the shelves, didn't we? And then again, it's fairly wobbly. There's no back on this one, but we knew we could clamp it to the roof. So it just sits there on a board. It's fixed to the board, look. And then we've clamped it to the beam in the roof. Mainly because I'm not a very good joiner and I can't make that fit properly. Again, look, we put a little bracket there, clamped it so it's not going to move. Same as the bottom, look. We've clamped the bottom. We're going to be doing all that now. That's how we finish it off. We make it secure. We've built it. Now we've got to use the excess. Yeah, so where were we? Yeah, we've got to use the excess and the bits and pieces now to secure that other shelf. What do we do here? Here we see, look, we put the shelf in, then when we're using these, I don't really know what they are. Support slashes, look. Strap them in. Holds that in place, look. This again is scaffolding. I didn't join them, I just put one on top of another. Okay, it should be level, it should be a corner, but I can do this. Put a plank up here, screw these in with tech screws, put them on there, look. Run across there, put some little legs on there, because of course you can tell we built this upwards. We start at the bottom, put a bit of legs, put a level on here, and then made this fit across here. Again, put a little set of legs on the end there, because that's the wood we had. We use what we've got, which then supports that. So it's screwed in there. It's supported by these brackets, top and bottom. Sits on the legs. It's not going to go down, is it? And then that supports the next level up. And then these are screwed in the side there. You just, you know, you make it out of what you've got, and you make it out of the material you've got, and you use every bit of the material that you've got. And this is what we're going to do today. Today's mission is to try and use all the wood up and make things match together. I'm sure you do the same. Obviously we had some spare wood there. Again, run off the top of the bench, which allows us to come this wide, and then put some uprights and bring it across again. So we'll do the fixings. Yeah?
Hey.
Hello? Are you better?
8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
I sound a bit better, I think, don't I?
Well, you can tell you're getting better because now it's time to go back to work.
I know. I can't believe it, can you?
Right.
It's just not fair.
Not
So there you
fair.
go. There's a lot worse people,
Oh, yeah.
a lot worse off.
I'm feeling much better today. It's on its way. It's just a squeaky voice today.
You've had nothing compared to what I've had, mate.
Right. And then hopefully the plan is to relieve these shelves by transferring some of this out to over there, which will then give me space here, especially these back ends here now. They're all gonna, we need them to all, we need to find a home for all them, don't we? So that we can see them and identify them and find them, and you know, who collects, what the hell is in there and who collects them. You know, I collect everything. I don't pass anything that I, obviously money is the thing. If I had all the money in the world, I'd buy everything. But, you know, it all builds up over the years. So, like these, a small amount of these, well, I don't know where I've got them from. I don't know how they came about, but I've only got that many of them. So that's, you know, how many I keep in that jar, you know, and it all moves around. Right, let's crack on then. Let's crack on. So here you see, we've used coach bolts. We've on this one, we've got some posts, haven't we? Oh, 4 posts. 4 posts. And just cut them up, and these sit on here. There's plenty of room because you know, the wood breathes and moves. You've got to let it do its thing with wood and shelving. It's a living thing. It's not a fixed thing. So it just drill a hole, put a bolt in. That's what I got. So I use those. So this one's easy enough. And this was I knew this was going to be general storage. I do keep them together, you know, stop this moving from there. I use a lot of this. I do like, I must have run out of it. See, look, I use the Dexian up here, bracket everything together, because you know you're messing with a lot of weight. If you've got a bracket, then put it in there. Whether it does the trick or not, who knows? If you got a, you know, if you want to hold, I just fix this. I didn't have a whole load of wood. I just wanted the shelves here, so I used what I had. And this has got a twist. This top one's got a twist on it, so we had to really, you know, tighten this one down. Another bit of wood makes another shelf along here. Look, and here. This is fixed to the wall via that bracket. These are these Gorilla screws. Amazing. You drill a hole, you screw them in, bang, they're done. See there? Again, I had a couple of these, 3 screws. Just, I like to try and tie everything together, use what I've got. Down here, I decided to use wood as spacers here. I just had that, so it just helps, it ties it together. I had a corner piece and I had 3, so I just screwed them together. You just make it. Again, a baseboard and bolt the bottom to it. You make it out of what you've got. And this one, I didn't have much thin wood. I had plenty of big wood, and I've got no facility to cut it down into perfect strips. You just use what you've got. If it's a short run, you don't need to brace the middle. That's a pretty long run, so I had a big piece of wood, so I used that. You just use what you've got, and again, the leg's fixed to the top there, look, so it's not going to move anywhere, and it's all fixed. You know, you just fix it where you can, where you think there's an opportunity to fix it. And if you've got a couple of screws, bang a bracket in, you know. That's and again, that's what we're going to be doing today. And these just stuffed it, sat it in behind there, then put a face on that and came up with that idea. So I've never been happy with it. There's an electrical, the reason we've gone around here is there's an electrical box hiding. See this conduit going into it? There's some sort of electrical junction thing box behind there. So a way of hiding it was to put these dials on it. So we've got the rest of the dials now, haven't we? So we've got these, plus the whole load that came in the box. So we're going to do a whole big run. See that? I was never really, didn't really look as nice as I wanted it to look. So we've got that job to do. Now we've got the dials. So probably put a big plank, one big plank down it, and that'll tidy that job off. Or maybe bring a few more down here. We'll figure it out when we get there. So here we are, the next day. That concrete worked out okay, didn't it? It's beginning to dry now, and you can see how uneven the floor was. Yeah, or maybe even the bottom shelf is. Who knows? And we're going to go up the middle, aren't we? We'll brace it, I think, because these are going to have quite a bit of weight. They're quite a bit bigger, aren't they? Excuse me. Right, and then we'll come here. We've already bolted them in, so that side's less. There's nothing fixed here, so we don't know what we'll find a way. We'll screw them all in there. That'll be fine. That's fixed there. I don't know. Can we get one more lift out of that? Is that okay there? Yeah, I'd like it like that. But I think that will be good enough. This one, we got room to put a bigger step there. Do something with that maybe. Anyway, so now we've got to figure out how we're going to fix it, how we're going to trap it, make it secure, because none of it at this moment is particularly secure. So that'll be today's job. But anyway, wow, let's Let's just have a look and think, wow, hey, I'm pleased with that. Put a bit of trim down the side here, hide that. You'll hardly have to hide that, you won't see it, but we'll put something, we'll find something and put something there, hide that as well. And it'll look all right then, won't it? Yeah. So as you can see, it's produced quite a lot of offcuts and scraps and bits and pieces. So how are we gonna use that to make, how are we gonna secure under here? That overlaps a bit. A couple of good fixings in here will stop that from dipping down there, won't it? Yeah, because nothing's going to be even. You might have a lot of weight there and not so much here, or vice versa, or it might make it move or twist. So, ordinarily, why would you keep a crummy strip of wood like this? This board, it's an offcut piece of a thing we've cut down to fit or something. So you'd think to yourself, well, why would you keep it? 99.9 of you would have thrown that in the fire, would have got rid of it. Anyway, I told you it'd come in one day. Look at this. Look at this. I've just cut it to size. It's going to fit there perfect, isn't it? It's going to fit there perfectly and hide all our sins. Before and after. It's not worth throwing anything away, is it? It's not worth the one day it'll come in. I told you not to throw that bit away. How long have I had it there for? I don't know. What job did it come off? I don't know. But I knew one day it would be. That's a bit. Yeah, there's the edge. Look. I told you one day it would come in. Just, I've got to turn that around, make it bow in that way. Yeah, one day it would come in just perfectly, and this is the day. So what I was trying to explain to you yesterday, the battery drills are amazing. They're great, you know, much better than the corded, you know, having to run electric, blah blah blah. Every good reason in the world to have them. About there, is it? About, yeah. That's about there. Yeah. But what has completely changed, hold on, what has completely changed the way I do things, what's a miracle of engineering, is these bit drivers. Okay, we've got a magnetic thing on the end of it, but tech screws, amazing for what we do, shelving and all that sort of a thing. But these bit once, if you haven't got one, you will be amazed. Where was that hole we made? Yeah. If you haven't got one, you'll be amazed. That never turn back. You know, these bit drivers are a fantastic bit of kit. Hold on. Let's put that back in there. I've still got the snivels. Let's get one-handed. Let's get on the hole, and there's like a hammer drill action on it, so it will do, and you don't slip because you've got the tech screw end of it. You ain't doing no Phillips or nothing like that. These things just hammer in, and the grip they've got. Can you hear it? It's like an impact gun almost, and it'll just pull and pull and pull. Yeah. So amazing. These now, one of those things that you can't live without once you've discovered it. And obviously these came in a pack, but if you do get a chance, if you're going shopping or whatever, yeah, get your drills. There's all sorts of different sorts, chuck locks, all that thing. But these bit drivers, I don't know why I didn't discover them years and years and years ago. Best ever thing I ever discovered in my little butchering world. These bit drivers are amazing. Shh, look. If I don't say and you don't say, they'd never know what the hell is behind there, would they? speak to your local window fitter and look how much mastic and foam, expanding foam and trim pieces they use. There's more trim than what there is windows in half of these places. More mastic hiding sins and more expanding foam filling a load of gaps. Yeah, learn from your window fitters. So I was going to put a board in there, same as everyone else, same as all the rest are, but there seems to be in this bottom one, there must have been a bow, the weight before it dried, so there's a slight bow in there. So obviously we can't trim or do anything with this much, so we just get another piece that's going to fit. It's not the same size or bigger, but it's the middle, isn't it? So just put that in the middle, just transfers the weight down. This is just one of those, an offcut one of those, fine, same size, same as what we use there. That's the good thing about not cutting anything to a specific size, because we let the timber yard cut the size. It came off the same plank, didn't it? These are the offcuts from the plank. Remember, this was 5 foot out of a 6 foot, so that's why we stuck, and it fitted. We stuck with this for the spaces here. Ain't going to give us no trouble. So obviously come down through the middle. Now here, slightly different for the step on the back. Okay, we could notch it, but no point, because it does. There's a solid. The only reason we know there's 2 planks here, so we had to have this one was a deep one, so it covers the 2 planks. So here we'll just cut 1 plank this wide up onto this space, and that's the middle done then. So we've got no problems with weight. It's going to sit back a bit as well, isn't it? You might sit forward, we'll see. We'll just find a piece of wood that fits and we'll put it in there. So this one, we only want it to sit on this one, don't we? To hold this up, because this is one piece. It just transfers the weight. As long as that line follows itself down, it don't really matter. It was going to stick out, wouldn't it, if I'd used one this size? So just get the piece that you want. And wood is an amazing thing. Wood will find its way. The wood will settle into its place. Where this is now isn't where it'll settle with the weight on it. It isn't going to settle when maybe the cold and the weather. The wood is it does move around. It's not fixed like steel. So it's all good, and we're making use of the bits and the offcuts, and you know, we're not wasting any wood, and we're not cutting new bits up to fit. So when we're finally putting it together is I think the best time you can come up with your better ideas. So we know this is sitting on here, this is only sitting on that sponge stuff, isn't it? That foam stuff. So we can afford to put another plank under there and still clear up. This is the one from behind, isn't it? Or shall we not put an extra plank, or shall we support it by screwing in there and screwing down there? So it wouldn't fall. Or would it be better? Would it be better to do it this way? Swap that around. Again, screw that in there. We've got a good bit of wood here. Cut a bigger length, and then sit this on top of there. Like that. Sit the shelf on top of there. That would grip it, wouldn't it? We'd have to trim it a bit shorter, because remember that they come out. But I'm tempted now with the idea of, because we don't really know how secure and we don't want this to twist out of the way, don't we? I think what we might do is we might just fit a bracket all the way along there and bring this across here, and that would give us a square and a better surface, wouldn't it? And sit them on here, and if we wanted to, we could bracket, couldn't we, underneath? Yeah, let's cut 2 of these, put a bracket there, sit the shelf on top of it, but we want the back brackets slightly higher, don't we? Because we've decided that that there can handle two. So this back bracket, because you know this is the one behind, isn't it? So we can come up one on there. If that was there, what would that look like? Oh, that'd be all right, wouldn't it? Hold on, put a bracket along there. Yeah, if we do that now, change that, put this bracket there, or put a longer one, hold on, put a longer one there, all the way along, put this bracket there, say, that would and that would marry into here nice and square and better looking, won't it? And we've got a length of it, so we can do it. There's nothing we can't do. There's never nothing we can't do. That's what we're going to do. We're going to screw that into there and put the shelf on top of it, I think. Yeah, because you can always hold the shelf up with it, but you can also pull the shelf up with it as well, and that'll stop any risk of this being messed with. Oh, we can do this now, can't we? We can do that. We can hang this up there, can't we? We can even raise the back up slightly if we choose. Because look, we did this. We didn't know this was going to stick. We first of all thought this wasn't stick, but there was a bit of a slope on it, wasn't it? And obviously we had this hole to fill. But if we do that now, if we hang that there and we set the shelf on it, that's going to be all right, isn't it? Yeah, nice and level. So yeah, put two of these in now. Yeah, look, I do know what a level is for, and I can use a level occasionally, you know. These tech screws, and when you're using big bits of wood, and this bit driver is amazing. Wow, and the grip that has, there's no way is that going anywhere. I'm gonna do a few along here now. Oh, I think that's improved it a lot better. Yeah, I'm much happier with that. We don't get quite the same lift in the back. If we used what we were using before, which was that one, it's too thick. But because we're only using this as an uplift on the back, we can use scraps, can't we? So now that fits in there. Just, oh, hold on, it's better here. Bit tighter there. Okay, we'll have to do that then there. Well, yeah, and then we'll come back to being okay there. Yeah, so that's the rear shelf sorted, and then we can go back to putting these in front. Then we can see, can't we? Just gives us that little bit extra sight in there. Oh, I'm pleased with that now. Now I can screw this all down now, and we're over that hole safely. The weight's not going to fall over there, is it? And this is just an uplift, so we can use scrap on that and a full length under there. It's coming on nicely. Tech screws have got a tremendous amount of pull on them, with the driver behind them. Wow. So I'm not going to fix this top one. This can just sit here just in case this evolves into something else. So I'm not going to screw this down because it's nice and big. It'll just sit there. It'll be fine. We're done. I think we're done. Let me put them all back together now. Well, I think we're done. We've put the middle in, haven't we? Okay, we've lost a tub possibly, but yeah, so we can put as much weight as we want on those. We leveled up this shelf in the back, didn't we? So we're not relying on that board in the back. If we knew we were going to do this and come this far, we may not have done that, but anyway, and you're not going to see it from back because remember that's that whiteboard behind, so that's okay. We fix this in, it's not going to tip or move, it's securely connected here. This is securely connected. Do you know, I think we are done. We are done. We've put the trim piece in. Yeah, so it looks nice. Yeah, Reggie fashion sort of nice. Look at this. We're done. We're done. We're done. We're done. I'm not going to fix this top one. So we've got flexibility to move or do something different should we need to in the future. So it's fixed up to there. Leave that just sit on there. It ain't going to bother us one way or the other. And that's a good beam on the back, so the weight's not going to bother it. So yeah, I think, and I've thoroughly enjoyed myself. I really have. And it's cost us, what did it cost us? A bag of sand and cement and that spray foam stuff. So not bad at all. It's the way I like it. Everything else has been and we had everything else in the stores, didn't we? Yeah, I've really enjoyed myself doing that.